If you're a gamer who uses Steam, then you probably also have access to the Remote Play service, which essentially allows you to beam gameplay around your home or across the internet to other laptops, tablets, phones, and even big screen TVs. It's a pretty easy setup, and it lets you continue gaming even if you move to another room in the house or another part of the world, depending on your internet speed. Here's how to get started. All you need is Steam client and good internet. Once you have the Steam client installed and configured on your main gaming PC, make sure you have all the games you want to play downloaded, since they'll be streaming directly from your PC. Since this computer will be sending the signal and running the game, it needs to stay on at all times and needs to be connected to a decent internet connection. Steam recommends a wired internet connection for the best internet speeds and stability, but honestly, you can get away without one. As for Australian internet connections, they aren't the best. So while you might be alright streaming your Steam games inside your own house, provided that you have a decent modem and a responsive receiving machine to play on, you'll also still need to have a strong internet connection to play games outside of your house. Next up, setting up Remote Play on your PC. From Steam on your main computer, choose Steam, Settings, and Remote Play. You need to make sure you have the Enable Remote Play box checked. Apart from that, if you go further down the dialog, you can give your main PC a recognizable name and configure various options through the Advanced Host options. You can also choose whether or not audio should play on the host computer during gameplay, for example, and how the hardware encoding is handled. Streaming to another computer, a Mac for example, or an older Windows machine is as simple as reinstalling the Steam client and signing in with the same username and password. Both of your computers will be automatically connected and ready to go, assuming you've enabled Remote Play in the settings as we've already described. And now, ways you can personalize the stream according to your liking. You can manage how the stream is handled on the computer you're doing the streaming to by going to the Steam settings, Remote Play, and then Advanced Client options. It's also possible to limit the bandwidth used or the resolution that the game you're playing is displayed in if you need to. You'll also see 3 different modes you can choose between: fast, balanced, and beautiful, depending on whether you want to prioritize graphics quality or frame rates. You don't need to install any of your games all over again on this second computer. That's the whole point of streaming them. A stream button will replace the play button, and Steam will confirm that you're not actually playing something locally. The first time you connect, you'll be asked to verify the link by entering a PIN on the host computer. Pay attention and keep an eye on the dialog that appears when the connection is first made. It'll tell you the key you'll need to press to bring up the Remote Play overlay, which features various input and quality settings. This key is typically Escape on a keyboard and the back key on a gamepad. During gaming, you can press this key to access the options. Up next, streaming devices other than a PC. When it comes to tablets, smartphones, and TVs, you need the Steam Link app for Apple devices or Android devices. This works a little differently because you're dealing with different input devices and different screen sizes. And for best results, you really need to have a proper gaming controller hooked up. Touchscreen controls are available for some games and on certain hardware, but they're finicky and might not give you the best gaming experience. The Steam Link app doesn't require a login. It simply looks for available Steam installations on the same local network. Once a connection's been made with your main gaming computer, you should be able to then use it again whether or not you're still on your home Wi-Fi, given that you're getting a strong enough internet connection. And now, Steam Link operates differently for macOS and Android interface. The Steam Link app is available for macOS if you want a slightly more lightweight alternative to the main Steam client, for example. But at the time of writing, Steam Link for macOS won't work outside of a local network, because the macOS version was added a little while after the Android and iPhone apps appeared. If you want to use it, you need to stay on the same Wi-Fi network as your main gaming PC. When you're connecting through Steam Link, Steam on the host computer switches to big picture mode. It's simplified and makes it easier to navigate around your library and launch games, especially if you happen to be using a relatively smaller screen. The navigation is handled through controls on the screen or a connected controller, not through tapping on the actual screen itself, so watch out for that. So now that you're done with the basic setup, once your game is actually running, the Steam Link streaming will work a lot like streaming through your standard stream client. You can check out the Remote Play settings by selecting the cog icon at the top of the front page of Steam in big picture mode, and like we mentioned before, you can choose between the same fast, balanced, and beautiful options in the regular client. If everything seems to be working as it should, all you really need to do now is fire up the Steam client or the Steam Link app on another device to connect to the main Steam installation. Another feature worth mentioning is Remote Play Together, where one player owns and runs the game, then up to 4 players or even more with fast connections can quickly join in the fun with supported multiplayer titles. Next, in other news, From Software secretly made Elden Ring's twin boss fights easier. Japanese video game development company From Software nerfed some of Elden Ring's trickiest boss fights without telling anyone. Several twin bosses like Mad Pumpkin Heads or like the Twin Crystallians have had their aggression dialed back, so that it becomes much easier to manage as a solo player. The change was made in patch 1.04 but wasn't clear in the patch notes. Afterwards, data miner King Boar found the changes in April and Illusory Wall demonstrated it in their latest video. Before the changes, fighting two bosses at the same time meant you had to dance between their overlapping attacks. Now, the boss AI is less aggressive, and the game generally de-emphasizes bosses attacking at the same time. Boss fights that were once absolute chaos as two enemies tried to pummel you at the same time are now a lot easier to get a grip on. Elden Ring fans might be quick to say that this makes the game more casual or whatever, but the changes to the boss AI help you prepare for the fights that weren't changed. Take the Godskin Twin or the Twin Gargoyles as examples. Anyone that's played a Dark Souls game knows that so much of it is designed to teach you how to approach harder fights later on. It makes Elden Ring more consistent and also more approachable for gamers who haven't played every previous From Software game. Next, France bans English gaming tech jargon. French officials are overhauling the rules for using English video game jargon, continuing their centuries-long battle to preserve the purity of the language. While some expressions have obvious translations, such as pro gamer becoming joueur professionnel, others appear strained, such as streamer becoming joueur animateur en direct. Now, that's a mouthful compared to its two-syllable English counterpart. The Culture Ministry, which is involved in the process, told AFP that the video game industry was riddled with anglicisms that could be difficult for non-gamers to understand. The Académie Française, a centuries-old language watchdog, warned in February of a deterioration that shouldn't be thought of as inevitable. The ministry said that experts had searched video game websites and magazines to see if French terms already existed, and that the overall idea behind this ban was to allow the population to communicate more easily. And now, Elon Musk gets into a fight with satirical video game site Hard Drive. Elon Musk, the suave billionaire, got into a Twitter spat with the satirical video game site Hard Drive. Musk shared a screenshot of Hard Drive's article Zodiac Killer Letter Solved by opening it with VLC Media Player, with the site's name cropped out on May 30th. This was done in accordance with his belief that every image on the internet exists to be stolen. Despite Musk's belief that crediting artists for their work destroys the medium, he eventually deleted the image he stole from Hard Drive. But it took a battle of wits and stamina to get him there, which is to say that Musk regurgitated a few aphorisms about art and comedy until Hard Drive skewered both, forcing him to, presumably, turn his Tesla on autopilot and cry his way to yet another shareholder lawsuit. Musk called a Hard Drive writer a coward for blocking him and capped the night off with another stolen meme. And that's a wrap for this video. Would you like to learn more about remote play and all the other quirks it comes with? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.